Okay, today's lesson is Chapter 6, Lesson 13, on pages 455 through 458. Our objective is I can divide decimals by decimals. Vocabulary is divisor and dividend. Question 1. To divide decimals, first change them to blank, then divide as normal. Question 2. How many miles can the car travel on each gallon of gas? So that question is referring to the clip we're about to watch.
Divide decimals. Did you know Florida has nearly 1,200 miles of coastline? The Priest family drove 213 9/10 miles to the beach. Their car used 9 3/10 gallons of gas. How many miles can the Priest's car travel for each gallon of gas? Take the number of miles the Priest family drove to the beach and divide by the gallons of gas their car used. So we need to divide 213 9/10 by 9 3/10. First, multiply 9 3/10 times 10 to make a whole number. 9 3/10 times 10 is 93. Next, multiply 213 9/10 by 10. 213 9/10 times 10 is 2,139. Place the decimal point. Now we can divide as with whole numbers. Let's find 2,139 divided by 93. 93 will go into 213 two times. 93 times 2 is 186. Subtract 186 from 213 and we have 27 remaining. Bring down the 9 since 93 will not go into 27. 93 divides into 279 three times. 93 times 3 is 279. Subtract 279 from 279 and we have 0 remaining. So the Priest's car got 23 miles per gallon of gas. Let's check our answer. 23, the miles per gallon of gas the car got, times 9 3/10, the number of gallons of gas, equals 213 9/10, which is the number of miles the Priest family drove to the beach. The answer is accurate. So, to divide decimals, first change them to whole numbers and then divide as normal.
Alright, so let's look at this problem in our book. I'm on page 455, and it gives a good little summary up here. It says when you're dividing decimals by decimals, you have to change the divisor into a whole number. So to do this, you have to multiply both the divisor and the dividend by the same power of 10. So you can't just multiply one by 10 and the other by 100. It has to be the same power of 10. And then you can divide them as whole numbers. So let's look at this in a problem. In this problem, it is 6 7/500 divided by 4 5/10. So we can multiply 4 5/10 by 10, and that'll make it 45. But then we have to do the same thing to our dividend. So 6 7/500 times 10 is going to give us 67 5/10, which is fine because we can divide using our divisor now that it's a whole number. So when we write that out, we have to bring our decimal up right away. Remember that from when we divided decimals by whole numbers. So now we just divide it regular. So 45 doesn't go into 6. But 45 does go into 67 once, and it is 45. Okay, so I multiplied 45 times 1 to get 45, subtracted that out, and I got 22. And I knew 22 was less than 45, so I could go ahead and bring down my 5. Now I'm looking at how many times does 45 go into 225. Alright, so it's 5 times. So I wrote my 5 up here. I multiplied 45 times 5. I got 225. Subtracted out. There was nothing left over. So our quotient is 1 5/10. But now we are going to, oh, and in that word problem it would mean Jerome is 1 5/10 feet taller, or times taller than Kelsey, or really 1.5. But you can multiply to check your answer. So we would do our multiplying steps. So 1 5/10 times 4 5/10. We multiply that out. We get 6 7/500, which was our dividend. So we know we were right. All right, so look back at these two questions. And remember, question 2 was from our clip. So look back if you need to look at that and answer them in the form, please.